Hey everybody, it's Mike over here at Growtopia, and I got another video for you. So, yesterday, and the videos aren't going to get posted in order. So, when you see the video come in today, I actually filmed it on Wednesday. Today's Thursday now. The reason why I didn't post it was because the way that I said at the end of the video, if you don't see the video, then it didn't work. So, obviously, here's part 2. So, the first combination that I put together where I stuck the lemon in the blender, don't do that. That was a bad idea. The reason why it was a bad idea was because it pureed so much to the point where I couldn't run it through my bag filter, which is this. And it's extremely fine, as you can see. Hold that up. You can see how very fine it is. And then I decided to switch over to the little handheld guys, which are these, which you can still see me, and that wasn't working. So don't stick the full lemon in there. So what I did with the rest of that mixture was I took a couple handfuls of it, I spread it on 2 leaves, and the rest of it I threw in my compost pile. It's all for an experiment. This is all experimental, so the cost to waste for me doesn't matter because it's all for experimental purposes. And once everything's all fine-tuned down to the way I want it and it works great, then I start following a regimen. Another thing I do want to throw out there for you guys too as well is in my Bible, not only do I have when I plant my seeds, and then I'll have my drawing eventually, I'll show you guys when I finally get around to it, of doing my whole area and what goes where in the different zones for certain things, and what are established that stays, and ones that are the temporary, like the lemon and the lime and the banana that are new installments. The strawberries that are in the 4 corners, those are temporary. And my grapes, I found a spot for them. Unfortunately, the grapes are not going to stay within the orchard, I call it, or Growtopia. Growtopia is what we call it, everything altogether from the nursery to the greenhouses in the backyard. But that section of our property we actually do call the orchard. Because originally that's what it was meant for, was an orchard. It was because I got apple trees and orange tree in there, and I got cherry tree in there. It was literally meant for an orchard. And it wasn't until I started realizing that my produce looks like shit, so I'm like tired of buying it, and it's cheaper to buy seeds and grow it on your own. And these tomatoes, I'm just going to grab these guys now because they're like eyeballing me right now. But these tomatoes are literally from the garden. Now, they got cracks. They're not good looking, but they're tasty. They're flavorful. And this one's not ready yet. A couple more days. A lot of little green on it and stuff. That's fine. I got this one here. It's got a little bit yellow still in it and stuff, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be ready to go. Here's another nice big tomato. This one's still a little orangish yellow. That's got a little longer to go. This one's got some green on it still. Here's another yellowish tomato, and here's another big red tomato. These tomatoes, I can't tell you what they are. The reason why I can't tell you what they are is because they are the offspring. Yes. They are the offspring of store-bought tomatoes. So, what I mean by that is we took a tomato that we bought that was organic, sliced it, made sure the seeds were inside, laid that slice in the ground, and whoosh, grew a plant. So what they are, what the supermarket sells, we really don't know. But it's not until I start going out there and I start going from plant to plant to plant to plant to plant to plant to plant that I have labeled. So anyway, this is not a tomato video. This is about dealing with the fungus issues. So there's a couple things I really do want to press with you people and stuff that I just started looking into and researching, and is why I wanted to shoot a video today. And it's a lot of things that might freak you out. So let's go down to where we are starting this off at. Okay, so zucchini leaves, cucumbers, and squashes are affected by this fungus. It's considered powdery mildew. It's a common fungal disease that appears as a white or gray coating on leaves, stems, and sometimes fruit. It's caused by the... God, why do you guys got to come up with these weird names? Lisius family of fungi. fungi's singular. Fungus is plural. Plural. Ha! I screwed myself. Plural. Oh man, this is great. That's what happens when I start looking at words I can't pronounce. Is it a family of fungi and thrives in warm, humid conditions? Well, if you live on Long Island, New York, like I do, like I've said before, our climate is as bipolar as our people. One day it's fucking 60 degrees, next day it's 80. You take a shower on Monday, and by Friday you're still not dry. All right? It's just our climate's so funky. So to try to grow stuff out here is like super fucking nuts. Especially when people are like, oh, it's humid. So powdery mildew can spread easily by releasing spores that can be rubbed off and jumped to nearby plants. To prevent powdery mildew, you can plant zucchini in full sun, space them out so air can circulate and avoid overhead watering. So I always laugh when I see that word overhead watering. Well, I told you, we live in Long Island, New York. It has rained easily ever since I've been alive, once, twice, every week. Sometimes we go a week without rain. So if I want to avoid overhead watering, I got to get this big plastic dome and stick it over my property so that none of my crops get wet. Because I've heard, don't overwater your tomato. Don't overhead water your tomatoes. It will cause these diseases. Well, what do I do when it rains? I stand out there with all my tomato plants and add a bunch of fucking umbrellas under them? You can't do that. And even then, this is backyard farming or homesteading, right? So major farms that I see that are out here, they don't have tents and umbrellas out there. They don't have a bunch of guys standing there with umbrellas. Oh my God, it's raining. Can't get the tomatoes wet. No. Stop that shit, people. Stay. So the overhead watering, I guess they're really more or less talking about like a sprinkler head going down on it or some shit like that. My sprinklers, unfortunately, they do overhead watering on top because it's where the water eventually lands. Depending on where the plant's situated, a lot of times it lands at the roots, sometimes it lands on the leaves. I do my watering at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I really do actually want to do a watering video for other people out there so you have an idea of what's going on. But my watering that I do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes on the weekend depending on the temperature. The length of my watering, it's because of the type of sprinkler system I'm using. So if you're using a hose, I don't do that. I run the sprinkler system. It gets the whole section done, and I usually run it for an hour. If it's anything above somewhere in like the 90 to 100 range, I'll let it run for an hour and a half because it will dry everything out really quickly. But we start the watering basically at like 5 in the morning, and sometimes earlier depending on what's going on. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 zones that have to get watered. So we start with the orchard, aka Growtopia, first for an hour. And then I have a section of corn that I've been screwing around with recently. And the corn section is going to get half an hour watering currently every day. Because corn, like I've said, is in the same family as the grass family, so it likes water. So a half an hour watering in that little section is good because it's not too much, it's not too little. It's early in the morning, and the corn's been loving it currently. And I think it's golden Bathum that I have that's out there right now. That's a short-grown corn, and I wasn't really sure about it, but it's currently like that high. So we'll see what happens come December. I'll be picking corn when it's snowing outside. Although we don't get snow until like the end of January or February. Once in a while we have a snowy Christmas. That's literally once in a blue moon. Alright, so back to this. So let's see, there's also doughy mildew. It's a fungal, it spots on leaves. There's leaf spots, sapora, a fungal disease that can overwinter in yard debris. That's something to look out for. One of the things they talk about is to treat powdery mildew, you can spray your plants with a mixture of 4 parts water to 1 part lemon juice. You can also cut any leaves and shows signs of mildew. So it shows, oh, four, yeah, okay, mixture of 4 parts of water, I read that wrong, to 1 part of lemon juice. So let's say that's like a part, let's say a part maybe is a cup. We're back to this game again. Uh, I like, going by cups and ounces and liters, but nevertheless. Alright, so if you guys are asking out there, can you eat what you have with the powdery mildew on it? Yes. So, being that the powdery mildew is basically a fungus that is only harmful to the plant's leaves and not to the fruit that it provides, you can eat it. It's also non-toxic to humans. Even though if you see it in like a plant that's very heavy affected, like it's almost like pure white, like almost as white as the milk, the fruit might be affected by it, the flavor of it, but other than that, it's not toxic to you. The only thing is one thing you really got to keep in mind and realize: if you have dogs and cats, it's extremely toxic to them. So you want to keep that away from them. That's the one big thing I wanted to push, was if you're in contact with it, stay away from your pets. If your pets are in contact of the plant, you want to keep the pets away from that plant. So the best thing to do is have, like my stuff, it's all in a corral. I have cats. My cats don't go outside, and anytime I'm ever doing anything, I'm always done washing myself, take a shower, clean myself up, wipe my arms, or whatever I got to do, even beforehand. Just because I don't want to get anything on me or in me. And so you definitely want to do that to keep that away from your critters. There's other ways of getting rid of it. I see over here is iodine, sulfur, lime sulfur, and neem oil. I don't know about the first 3, but I know neem oil is a safe one to use. And what I'm going to do is a different batch that I did yesterday after I had the Chunky Monkey batch, and I sprayed it on the leaves yesterday, and about 24 hours later, from what I've heard, I didn't wash it off. I left it on there, so I had 24 hours of no rain. Yes, I have the morning dew, but very minor. But 24 hours later, my leaves look a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that mixture now, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what it did, what it is for measurement wise for the bottle of choice. So like the bottle of choice that I'm using is a 24-ounce bottle. I'm going to start off with that. The measurement that I did for that, the water, the cinnamon, that was it. I just did 3 ingredients. I didn't go for the I didn't go for the lemon. I might do lemon next and keep playing around with this and stuff to see exactly which one is more aggressive than the other, but without killing the plant. But when I sprayed it on everything yesterday, I was a little nervous. I was going to kill the plants or the flowers. Nothing's affected at all. All I see is less white spots in the leaves. And that right there, knock on tile, is so far good. So let me get rid of this phone. We're going to start making that. As soon as I walk out the door. Okay, let me know. Well, you'll hear, as soon as you hear the door, you'll know I'm leaving. Alright, so first thing we can do is take our bottle. I didn't clean it out from yesterday, so it's fine. Still smells like milk and cinnamon. So obviously I didn't blender it. I literally just poured it and went. So I'm taking my measuring cup here, and I'm doing a solid 1 cup of milk. And pour that into the sink. Into the cup. And into the sink. Okay. Stay. So that got me to about probably about 10, maybe 9 fluid ounces. So the next thing I grabbed here is 2 teaspoons. Now they're heaping, so if you really want to be politically correct, mildly heaping. 1, 2, and then put the cover on backwards. Now I'm going to take water that's a little warmer and then mix it. Alright, so I took 2 cups of water, not hot, but just warm. I'm basically just going to mix it in here, just so I can try to get the least amount of powder that's on top. Try to get it blended nice. Now I'm going to mix it again, but just get this like that. And if you guys look, the way that it comes out, it's a little less of the powdery. It's kind of looking more like chocolate milk. I'm going to take that and we're going to pour it right down the hatch. And that right there gets me just a smidge above 24 ounces. So we're looking at possibly about 27, 28 ounces, give or take. Alright, so the next thing we do is, other than put away our stuff, we're going to now take the bottle, we put our top on it. Now one of the things you want to do is make sure you close your sprayer, FYI, make sure everything's tight, and you're just going to shake it. You're going to shake it, helps if you screwed it on all the way. You're going to shake it all together. Alright, now it's all nice and shaken, and because I didn't have it screwed down all the way, I made a little mess. But anyway, nevertheless. So you could let it sit for an hour or so. You could let it sit for a couple minutes. I literally didn't let it sit. I grabbed it, did that, shook it, took it outside, sprayed. So that's what we're going to do. So now we're going outside. Gotta get rid of this fungi. This fungi ain't fun anymore. Gotta get him out of the party. He won't leave. Cops have been called. Ow, what the hell did I step on? Frickin' acorns. Damn squirrels aren't doing their job. I got gray hair in my beard. I'm getting old. Alright, so you can see some of these leaves. Now, not all of them had it, but some of them had it. This one doesn't have it anymore. These still have small amounts, small traces of it, nothing crazy. This has nothing, this has nothing. This has small traces on it. Very small leftover. Very small leftover. A little bit left over. And some of these guys in the back have almost nothing on them. They have a little bit down there. A little bit on the dead guys. So you come up, look at my dragon tongue beans. Damn! These are the ones that have the brown dynamite on it. As you can see, that has actually, with the lemon juice in it, has taken it off. And they are looking a lot better. This one only had a little bit on it. And this guy over here. And also I did those ones over there. So basically, whoa, almost dropped the phone again. So what I'm going to do, while I'm juggling the phone, is take this off and get it into where it sprays. That's not spraying. I like the misty spray. I think that's in the beginning. The wrong way. Okay. Now it's misty.
So all I'm going to do, spray it like such, heavy on my leaves. And you'll see that it has a little bit of a coloration. Yesterday was a little bit less cinnamon and more milk. Today I'm doing a little bit more cinnamon and less, and same amount of milk. Now, give or take. Spray it on these guys here. And I'm going to spray it on the ones that I don't see anything on, just in case. So you just spray it on, you're going to leave it on. And like I said, it actually has not harmed, so you can see it's getting a little white there. It's not harm, it doesn't harm the plant at all. Basically, all you're doing is changing the pH level on the leaves, stopping the spread of this mold, and it's a nice saturating of it. My cucumbers are not listening to me anymore. They're running away. I gotta keep changing hands. I gotta get like an automatic sprayer for this one. I can just pull the trigger and it just goes boom. I got the automatic sprayer, battery operated, for my grow. It's great. But look at that. Nice and coated. Yeah, it's dripping, but that's fine. That's what you want to see. Alright, let's enter the abyss. We got other ones we can't reach from there. Check it up every so often, just to make sure you get that nice, even coating. And what's great about this, other than I can't hold the bottle anymore, is that it is all natural. You know what's in it. You don't have to worry about any weird chemicals and stuff. Look at this area. This is heavily infested over here. We got a heavy white one over there. We may lose that one as well as with this one, but we're going to try it. We're going to spray it down. And it doesn't hurt to spray the leaves as well that don't have any issues with them. The reason why is because then it pre-treats them as it is. And also you want to spray it on your stems. Look at the size of this zucchini. And even if I hit the zucchini with the spray, I'm not worried about it, because I know that it will also help the zucchini not have the same issue. The sunflower just literally tried to grab me. So these guys I hit yesterday with the same mixture, and they were almost as white as over there. You do see that there is a lot still on these guys, but not like there was. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man, I gotta shoot this video. I did not think this was at all gonna work. Frickin' milk and cinnamon and water, come on. And you can see it just literally grabs onto anything like this that's leafy. Because we got cucumbers, we got zucchinis, we got watermelons, we got melons in here. And everybody is getting affected by this wicked stuff. And it's a mold, unfortunately. If you live in humid climates like myself, it's something you're never going to ever get away from. But if you could at least treat it before it becomes a disaster, then that's the best thing. And milk is cheap enough to buy. It goes a long way when you're making this. And cinnamon's cheap enough. Water is obviously cheap enough. And this is just something that you can just constantly do for yourself to protect your crops. Because all your crops are really doing is they're just trying to reproduce their own offspring. And well, this is going to get dark, but we just eat what they're trying to reproduce. That's all they're doing. They're not producing the fruit for us. They're producing the fruit so that they can reproduce. And we just happen to eat it because it tastes good. You know, that got dark really quickly. Look at that. We're almost gone with this whole bottle. Just keep spraying it. It's going to land where it's going to land. I got a peanut plant that's in there. This right here is a watermelon. Oh, sorry, that's a cantaloupe that's over here by my feet. My tomatoes are cranking. I got a couple red guys down there I just saw now. Absolutely no problems, no diseases with them at all. No issues. You get the little bit of the blight that goes on with them, which is kind of normal. We've had some wicked weird temperatures dropping down into the 50s at night. So I'm constantly watching my banana that's over there, making sure it doesn't get too cold, especially with my lemon and my lime. In case I got to bring them inside and put them in the nursery, and then, but all right, everybody, that looks about it. So obviously I'm going to need a bigger sprayer for this large application, but it's easy to make. I can go back inside, make it again. It's not going to take any time at all to do so. And the best thing of all is you just come run back outside and you finish spraying, and then you're done. Back in there. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. This is Mike over here at Growtopia. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you learned something. I hope you guys go out there, and if you're having the same powdery mildew, I would say definitely please jump out there, make this batch really quick, go to your local supermarket and just pick up the supplies. All you need is milk, no matter what kind, as long as it's not almond milk. Regular whole cow milk is what you want to look for. You also just want cinnamon. Doesn't matter what kind of cinnamon you use. If it's organic, it's not organic, doesn't really make a difference. And also you want is water from the faucet. You could use as well, unless your water from your faucet is extremely toxic. If not, use water bottles, or use whatever water you're using to water your crops with. So that's about it. And if you want to grab lemons, I'm going to do a lemon one too. So I'm going to try the lemons after a couple days and see what happens with them, see if that makes a major difference or if it doesn't really matter. So anyway, everybody, this is Mike over here at Growtopia. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear the results. If you guys do this, please, definitely. And they say 24 hours to leave it on there. I'm leaving them on there no matter what. They didn't say leave it on there for only 24 hours. It said leave it on there. It said, no, so I'm sorry. It said after 24 hours, you'll see results. And I did it yesterday around like 5 in the afternoon. It's almost that now. And I saw results. So it's hard to say does it work. So anyway, guys, later.